a sorcerer build that clears Pit 100 in 2 minutes. This isn't just the best sorcerer build, it's by far the fastest speed farm build in Diablo 4. Reaching 300 billion damage, spamming your ultimate multiple times per second, and melting Pit 100 in 2 minutes. You're just enjoying the moment. Why is this the best sorcerer build? When creating a pit push build, we sacrifice mobility and defense to focus on damage. And when creating a speed farm build, we maximize mobility and reduce our damage. This means that our damage is insufficient to return to Pit 89 and above. In this build, however, our mobility is extremely high, our damage is incredibly high, and we become invulnerable. We practically annihilate Pit 100 monsters. So how does this work? Our main skill is still Hydra, but this time we are focusing solely on critical damage, rather than vulnerable damage or damage over time. In line with this, we need to make some changes to our gear, skill tree, and Paragon. Let's take a look at these changes. In our gear, the most important change is our weapon. Instead of a wand, we use a sword with a critical strike passive. Intelligence and maximum life greater affixes are important. Unlike others, I added a critical strike damage greater affix to increase damage. Instead, you can also use primary resource regeneration for a softer gameplay. We've changed our boots to flicker step. The purpose of this is to cast your ultimate within a second, sometimes even 3 to 4 times per second. Therefore, make sure your boost's passive rate is set to 4 seconds. The rest of our items are the same as in the previous build, but I'll quickly go over them anyway. We have Shaco here with cooldown reduction masterworks. We have Shroud of False Death here with all stats greater affix. I have Aspect of Flash Fire Gloves with 3 greater affixes on intelligence, attack speed, and core skill. But only core skill greater affix would be enough. We need Perfect Ophidian Iris. The important thing is its passive must be over %95. We have Telrashas and Starless Skies, and finally we have an Aspect of Storm Swell Focus. The tempers of both our weapons must be Hydra heads and Hydra damage. Focus on having +2 Hydra heads, and then masterwork on it. Another change we have made is that we are using Myriad Stone instead of Idol from below as jewelry. The reason for this change is that with Myriad Stone, when we use our ultimate, our catalyst will explode, and we will gain a very high attack speed. Now let's take a look at our Herodric Spellcraft, where we use Smoldering Ember, Bloody Charm, Fractured Core, and Frigid Heart. We use Cosmic Anomaly as our catalyst skill and bring it to our ultimate. For potions and incense, you can use Sage's Whisper and Soothing Spices to increase intelligence. And if your armor is at cap, you can use Redamine Buzz to increase your health. You can use any of the 4 potions here. I generally use the attack speed potion. Let me quickly show you the skill tree in Paragon. In our skill tree, we make critical focused choices, and it is sufficient to give our teleport skill 1 rank. Giving it more ranks will not reduce the cooldown because we are enchanting our teleport ability. This way, the cooldown is fixed and cannot be reduced by any means other than gear. It is important that we choose Invoked Hydra here. We also choose Isu's Ferocity as a key passive. Looking at our Paragon, the boards and glyphs I use in order are as follows: Destruction, Elemental Summoner and Conjurer, Searing Heat and Tactician, Ceaseless Conduit, and Invocation. This Paragon and Glyph are the key points of this build. Thanks to the legendary node here, our damage increases exponentially as long as we have Crackling Energy. Additionally, thanks to the Glyph, we significantly increase the critical damage of our Hydras. Finally, I used Enchantment Master and Elementalist. To examine the build in more detail, you can use the Mobalytics link I will post below the video. From here, you can also access my previous builds and builds for different classes. As a mercenary, we use Subo and Variana. Thanks to Variana's Bloodthirst ability, we gain a good amount of attack speed when we use Hydra. This is an important point, and that's it. With this build, you can destroy Pit 100 in 2 to 3 minutes. Now I'm going to show you a pit run so you can understand better. The gameplay will be as follows. We spam all our skills except Hydra. We don't hold down the ball lightning skill, we press and release it, which gives us a softer teleport speed. I explained how to do this and how it works in more detail in my previous sorcerer video, so you can check that out if you want. Thanks to Flicker Steps' passive, you will be able to cast your ultimate multiple times in seconds and gather all enemies in one spot. One important point is that we don't spam Hydras constantly. Casting it once is enough. You can have 2 Hydras at the same time, and always make sure you have 2. Always use the Hydra when your mana is full, because the higher your mana, the higher the damage the Hydra deals. The reason for this is the serpentine aspect we use in our weapon. Using the Hydra consumes all your mana and causes it to deal more damage. If your build doesn't use primary resource regeneration like mine, you need to play more carefully because your mana doesn't refill quickly. That's all I have to say about the build. If you enjoyed the build, don't forget to like the video, and if you have any questions, feel free to comment or ask on our Discord server. We are always happy to explain any points that are unclear to you in detail. Now, I'll leave you to enjoy the rest of the video. Have fun!